first time we've done this since the end of last season, I think I'm right in saying. Just to quickly look back at what was a remarkable year for the club in a number of ways, Mike. You know, you've played at a high level, you've played in European competitions, but where does what happened rank in your career?
Difficult to rank it, but to be honest, I'm more about looking forward. So, not wanting to swerve your question, I'm going to swerve your question. And yeah, like I say, it's fantastic. It's a great achievement for the football club. Off the field, massively built where we've come from. But really, that's gone now. It doesn't really bother me. I'm looking at trying to register our first 3 points, and we're working hard every day to achieve that.
That's about 6 follow-up questions killed. We'll bring it forward then. Just looking at pre-season, I guess everyone will point to the loss of Macaulay and Kedwin, but the business coming in's been busy, as we can see with the gents sat alongside us. I'll give you what's happened over the summer.
Yeah, obviously it was the good thing that we had is that Macaulay moved on quite quick. Ked's the same, so it gave us time to be able to look to bring other players in. We had targets in mind from early on because we thought it might be the case with Macaulay and Keds because we were kind of powerless to keep them. The club done really well to get more new contracts and get money in for them. So we had targets set up before the season finished. We managed to get them targets, and now it's just a process of sort of getting them into the team and getting them into the squad and used to our style of coaching, used to our style of playing. And I'm sure they're all going to be successful signings.
It's important to say that the two of them could have left on a free if contracts hadn't been agreed, but obviously were, as you say, got money in for them. Do you feel the business is done now, or is it a case of always looking?
Always looking. Well, to be fair, we've recruited really well over the summer, in my opinion. As I said, we were powerless to what happened with Keds and Macaulay. Obviously, we wanted to keep them. They scored a lot of goals, but at the end of the day, it's football. We've recruited well. We've been hit with injuries at bad times, which again we're powerless to do anything about. But we aren't just going to sit there and moan that we've got injuries and that we're struggling to get a full team out. We're looking now to bring players in, and we're looking to strengthen as soon as we possibly can, because we need to, and we want competition all over the place. We want to progress the club as quick as what we possibly can, and bringing new players in is going to do that. So yeah, we're looking to try and get some things done now. Really.
Just to extend, so help you out, had the 6 questions that I swerved out. Yeah, funnily enough, coincidentally, that was the conversation that I had with the boys today, this morning. We want to be a platform to develop people and players, and that's what we've always prided ourselves on since me and Bus come in. But the brutality of this industry is we have to. It's a results industry, and we want to work to improve every single day with the boys we've got. But ultimately, if we pick up injuries and we bring boys in, or there's opportunities to bring lads in that will strengthen us, there can't be any emotion attached to that. So we're always looking to improve. Obviously, we've got limitation with our resources in terms of finances. We don't want to just be a mercenary club and just get players in and out on a conveyor belt, because that's not who we are. We want to be develop people and players the best we possibly can. But yeah, like I say, at no point do we say that our business is done and everything's shut, because we're always looking to improve. And like I say, with the lads, we've got to use that as an incentive to get better, because if we're not looking to improve, then we're only going to be going backwards, and that's the kind of ethos that you have to have as a developing club.
Important to say as well, you mentioned there about not just wanting mercenaries in. You've been here longer than anyone, I think. In the past, there has been players that have come in, I think, for money we could probably sell, not their names, and they've gone out the door pretty quickly. That's the danger of the current market, isn't it? I guess there's a lot of players who, it's been spoken about for years, who will move up somewhere else for an extra tenner a week. So you've got to be selective, you've got to be careful, and I guess you'd probably say there's risk in every deal.
Yeah, you have to do your research on every single player that you bring in, and that's something that we do. Obviously, bringing Robin's been massive for that. try and look at the person first. If they're a good person, if they're going to fit our football club, if they're going to be coachable and react to having the gaffer screaming at them, asking them to work harder and stuff like that, because if they ain't going to react to that, then it's a no-starter. So that's the first thing we look at, what type of person they are. Then we look at the playing side of things. But to go back to before, I think that's where the club kind of took a backward step when we got rid of the local core and we brought in a lot of players from down south. I think we lost that connection with the fans. I think the players who came from down south didn't understand what it meant to play for the football club. Ultimately, all them players were unbelievable players because they've all went on to play league football. The Liam Hogans, that kind of era, not that Liam was one because he was brilliant when he was with us, but that era of players have all went on to play league football, so their ability wasn't in question at all. It was just maybe it's because it wasn't their local football club, they don't give as much as what the likes of the Owen Baileys and the people like that do. So yeah, I think we've got to be careful that we don't go back down that route, and we integrate certain lads in that we're bringing from down south, and they understand what we want, they understand the culture of the place, what the football club is, you know, the community that it is. And to be fair to the lads we've brought in from down south, obviously you've got two now, I think they've really bought in there to who we are and what we are, and I think they're enjoying it, so that's a good sign.
I did say I wasn't going to name any names, but throw one in anyway. Rob, I'll come to you in a minute. But first of all, Dan, Ethan, thanks for coming on. I think it may have been jumping on you that you're going to be up here, but how have you found it the first few months you've been here involved in this? What is a tight dressing room?
Do you want to go first on me? I've thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, it's not been the start of the season. I would have personally wanted being injured for the whole of the season to start with. But the dressing room, the staff, and just in general the lads have been absolutely fantastic. And it's really made it a lot easier moving away from home and up here. And football-wise as well, we've got a great squad. We've got a lot of talented players. The staff, like I said, are brilliant. The football that they're trying to get us to play this year, it's really exciting to be a part of.
Yeah, it's a great start. I've enjoyed living up here, getting used to the community and everyone. The fans have been very welcoming, but at the end of the day we're still working to get towards that first win. But at the end of the day I'm still trying to get used to the environment, the playing style, the gaffers and all the players, but it's been a very good first few weeks.
Rob, I'll come to you now. When the appointment was announced, the question was asked what the role would mean, and quite often it was said we're not too sure. So can you tell us what your role is exactly?
I'm not too sure either. So, I mean, ultimately it's just to try and come in and be that bridge between the board and Mike and Busty and everyone really, just to sort of have a link, using my experience to put in some structure to try and make more connections for the club, to try and help the lads. Obviously I'm still on the pitch training, and obviously coaching when needed and helping out in any way I can. But I think that's the brilliant thing about this club, and about like Mike talked about the mentality, the ethos and of the place is that no one's got one role, everyone's pitching in, we're all doing it all together. One day you're helping out with the kit, the next day you're doing shooting, you're dealing with agents, you're dealing with players. So no, it's just about helping the football club to become, to fulfil its potential and to give that structure, bring the collectiveness on the pitch, off the pitch, and everything with the fans all into one place, all aligned, and just basically developing the club in any way we possibly can. I hope that helps. I don't know what that is, but
I'm still not clearer. You've been around the club for sort of 3-4 years now, obviously since Mike came in. Looking from the outside last season, how did you find it, seeing the group of lads that achieved what they achieved?
I was in no doubt that the ultimate that they would have got promoted. It's easy from outside watching because I could just see the talent in the group. Obviously the talent behind the scenes in terms of Mike, Bust, Lou and Chris in what they were delivering. And sometimes it was easier for me being away from that because you can just see it developing, and I just knew the only outcome was the guys getting promoted. I actually went to Brackley where we lost, and that day convinced me even more that we were going to get promoted in a roundabout way. And I think the culture the environment that they've created here is what basically made me want to come. And I'm like pretty much an adopted North East lad now anyway, and it just made my final decision to want to be at home and want to take on a new challenge. Still play, but or when needed, but also to help the cause here and take us on to the next level, because, like you say, what the lads have done on the pitch, they fast forwarded where the club have been from where we were to where we are now. So yeah, it just convinced me in sort of every department, really.
It's nice to hear you referring to Gateshead as we already as well. It's a good start. Obviously, you've been at the likes of Watford recently, Newcastle. This is a professional environment, and you see the standards that are put in by Mike, Busted, Louis and Belly. How do you think that ranks compared to what you've experienced throughout your career?
It ranks. I'm not just saying this, and the guys but it ranks higher because all these clubs, you're very lucky in what you get in terms of facilities, in terms of structure and the staffing and everything. Whereas what we've got here, we've got an unbelievable group of people doing everything they can to make the club as professional, as well run as we can with the limited resources we've got. And that to me just gives credit to what we are doing. There's a lot more we want to do, but actually what the guys have done so far and what the lads have bought into, the group of players we've got, they've bought into everything, and that's huge. And I think that's why we've reaped the rewards of getting promoted last season. And obviously, we want to win our first game, but ultimately, again, a bit like the Brackley situation, I'm not that worried because I've seen the process, I've seen the outcome, and it's only a matter of time before that comes and the team progresses. So ultimately, just really, really pleased and proud to be here, because it's something that I just wanted to be a part of, really. That's the only way I can describe it. It genuinely was the thing that was going to make me the happiest.
And the third choice keeper, apparently, Mike. Is that right?
So he tells me.
Really started number 3, innit?
Like you say, just to reiterate, if you were to try and get me to define Busty's role, I'd struggle, because he does so many jobs, and he's worn so many hats and badges over the years, and that's just the same with Rob. He's a like-minded person. He's a good person. Like I said, I've known him for many years, and I know what you can add on both on and off the field. So yeah, it's for me. We all want to wear every hat. I mean, Busty's desperate to get on the football pitch, but I'm just waiting for him to have that opportunity. Same with Rob. Like I say, if it really needs to be, then I'm sure he'll be there, and he's keeping himself ticking over for that moment.
Having seen Busted at a number of clubs, I'll keep waiting. There's a lot of talk of process. That's something that's been spoken about quite widely. This season is one of difficult challenges. You look at the finance in the league. Does that just make you even more determined to stick to that process that's taken you this far so far?
Yeah, 100%. It's the process that's got us where we are. We never get fixated with results, because we know that if we get beat 5-0, we want to come in the next day, we want to improve in every department. If we win 5-0, we want to come in the next day, we want to improve in every department. And as long as we keep that mindset, which we will, because that's all the gaffer has, then not all you have. But that's what am I trying to say?
I'm one-dimensional.
He's one-dimensional. Yeah. Nobody demands that, so that's we'll always go with that, and we'll always be process-driven. And as the gaffer said, it's a results business, so obviously we do need to get results, but we fully believe that we just keep working on that process, keep working to develop the boys. You always see the boys come in on the morning, leave on the afternoon a better football player, and if you do that, then we believe the results will come.
Mike, how is your search for a new assistant manager going?
Got one here.
Looking at the results so far, obviously your first defeat of the season on Saturday, but the performance against Notts County, I think, was one everyone could be proud of, and came close to a real notable win there. How do you assess what's happened so
far? I assess it like we've been very good in patches of every game, and and when we review every game, we kind of take away the scoreline and the goals and look at the actual process of opportunities, final third entries, how clean we can get to the halfway line, and like I say, our process of trying to improve. I feel as though we've been slightly unlucky on certain occasions to concede late goals, but you know, you make your own luck, and we have to be better. We have to improve that. So, like I say, my reflection is we've got a massive game on Saturday, and we're working hard. Everything that's gone, it just needs to be there as a motivator and a trigger to make us better. But like Ian was saying there, win, lose or draw, we have to keep going, trying to improve and get better. So like I say, we would have liked more points on the board, but the reality is, we're fighting for 3 points on Saturday.
We have been given some questions from the audience, people that didn't want to ask out loud. First from Callum, who's young Heed. He says, where do you think we'll finish in the league? But maybe I'll kind of rephrase that as, what's the aim?
To win the next game. Pretty sure you all would have expected that answer. Again, it's not a cliche. It's the fact is, if we start looking at that, I said before the season, people ask me what's the targets, and I see them as limitations. So we just want to fight to win the next game, and obviously, it's an answer that people want to get, hear a number so they can either criticise us when we're not getting there or applaud us when we're beyond that. So for me, it's a case of making sure that it's all focused on what we're doing right this second. And it's easy last season when you're winning, it's just next game focus, but it's also when you're losing, it's next game focus, because the process doesn't change. And I can only give you that one answer.
I did a prediction for 4-4-2, got battered by Louis Story for it, so that was fun. Next one, I'm not sure who this is from, but everyone can answer this one. Do you have any pre-match routines?
Just trying to calm Busty down, stop him from climbing the walls. Pre-match, I don't know if it's of any interest. I don't eat the day of a game. I hydrate myself until about 11 o'clock, and then I stop drinking. And then from about 1:30, 2 o'clock, I have a couple of caffeine supplements. But I used to be very ritualistic when I was playing, but I found it's just it used to hinder me, because when I didn't have my routine set out and I didn't put my left sock on before my right sock, then I'd turn it create anxiety. So really, I kind of just dropped and knew it was all superstition, and I've just got the best process of getting myself ready. But no, sticking the music on, just relaxing. All the prep is done in the week, so a game day really is just about just chilling out and going into it in the best state you can and enjoying it.
Obviously, I don't play anymore, so I don't really have a pre-match. When I did play, my dad used to make us tuna and potatoes before every game, but other than that, and Mike saying that he listens to music, it's heavy metal music that he puts on before games.
Rob, I'll come to you now.
It's been so long, I don't know, I feel I've forgotten. Probably similar to what Mike said. As I was younger, I used to put my left boot on and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, you just learn as you get older just to forget that. The biggest thing for me is visualisation, so I just picture the things in the game, especially when I was first going up to Premier League level, the big stadiums, the occasions, just calm yourself down, visualising taking goal kicks, visualising catching crosses, events that happen in the game. Didn't visualise letting in 4 or 5 goals, which I probably should have done more often, but after the first couple of times I started visualising saving them, and that seemed to help. So yeah, that's it really. And obviously now a message we always talk to lads about is like the fear. There's a massive fear of like failure in front of, or embarrassing yourself, or whatever you want to call it when you're at the top level, because you know the importance of the people are watching, and just trying to get the lads just say forget about it, doesn't matter, it's not real. It's all about your personal, your mentality, attacking the game, freeing yourself up to be the best player you can be, and not let that hinder you. I like to use a little bit of fear to keep me on the edge, but the other side is listen to Eminem as well, if that helps. yeah, that's it.
I'm quite like the gaffer. I don't eat before games. I just have a tonic water and then a Red Bull, caffeine myself up, and then just kind of go out and just, you know, try and have a good warm up, and then I think that leads into the game really. But I just don't eat before a game. Just straight caffeine. Just so I'm absolutely buzzing when I go out.
There's only one thing: put my left shin pad on before my right. Don't know why, but I do it, and that's just me. That's my pre-match ritual, and I live by it every game. So I'll just keep going.
People in football are weird, aren't they? If anyone's interested, I normally tell Digger everything about the two teams that are playing in front of us because he never does any research, so but that's just me. Rob, we have a question for you. There's a lot of long words in this. Congratulations on your appointment. Looking at what Jack said, you're going to be very busy. I understand most of it, but can you explain what it means that you'll be implementing an internal framework?
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming that means what am I going to be bringing to the club? Again, I can't sit here and say exactly what I'll be bringing, but things like the recruitment stuff that we've sort of set up with Bust and the gaffer, and just organising those things. Just for that longer planning, that longer planning of identifying people that maybe are going to players that we like, identify them from 23s, from the leagues below, our league ourselves, just to have that forward planning aspect. So, because obviously I'm aware of the situation where the club was and where it is, and the job everyone's done, from the fans to Mike and the players. We've got ourselves in such an amazing position, but we don't ever want to be in that position again. So bringing in that structure, bringing in that stabilisation from above all the way through to Mike and Bus to give them the best opportunity to get the players they want and to implement what they need as well, and just to ultimately bring the laid-back professionalism that we want to the club, and to try and get a little bit better every day. And that could be as simple as the food we're getting in, it could be the kit, it could be training facilities, whatever it has to be, we'll just try and get a little bit better. I can't promise we'll get it right every time, but the intent is there to do it for the right reasons. And we've got quite an open group, we talk to the lads, and we like to get their opinion as well, because it's not just one person making a decision, it's all of us together coming to the right conclusion that's going to benefit everyone in the long term. So yeah, usually I just say, Mike wanted this, he says no, and I say okay, and then I come up with something else.
There's going to be a lot of serious topics discussed here tonight, and a lot of big questions about the club's future and stuff, but there'll be no bigger question than this, I can't think. I'm going to say this is from Mark Walton, given that Mark Walton's name is underlined twice in this. There are five of you here tonight, so this could go to a vote, I guess. There are a lot of volunteers behind the scenes doing a lot of good things for the football club. Mark and Dave obviously are kit men. Who is the better kit man out of the two?
Ian? It's a tough one because Dave brings in kale and cucumber that he gets from his garden. Mark actually does the kit. So I don't know, it depends if you'd rather have the kit or you'd rather have kale.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, I think they all bring their own strengths, whether it's gardening or kit. I've got my eyes on some lovely eggs that were coming in the other day, and that could be the difference, Dave, is what I'm saying. Get us some of them hens and I'll be sorted.
It's funny you've actually said that, because Dave brought me a chilli the other day as well. So I'm going to have to say Dave, because he does the washing at my house as well, so I can't really... But yeah, no, he does make a good chilli.
No, but on a serious one, they're both incredible to the club. Like, the work they do behind the scenes is unbelievable. Like, they do so much, doing the kit every day for everyone, making sure it's right for match day and stuff. It is very good for the club, and it goes unnoticed, but it is very appreciated by us all.
when you said about nutrition, you meant Dave. Bringing nutrition to the club, it's just Dave doing it. That's fair enough. I think that's all questions from you guys for now that have been sent in. If anyone doesn't want to ask any, feel free to write it down and leave it on here in the break, and we'll get through to the second half. But we will be opening up to the floor after we have the break. Just to kind of finish off the first half, Mike, we've spoken quite a bit about the importance of the supporters, what they did will not go over all ground, but the support you've had this season and throughout last season, it seems to be only getting stronger.
Yeah, spot on. And like you say, that's credit to the guys that are working hard behind the scenes. Credit to the guys that just turn up. We've got a core that it's like a religion, and regardless of the numbers, you can hear them and they come in force. Like for me, I've had the luxury and the privilege to play at many different levels, and coming here, like you say, I'm sure Jarve isn't going to get a sign-on fee like that at another club as a Chile. So it is certainly a weird and wonderful. Everyone pitches in. It's a real community-based club, and we just want that to continue. Obviously, we want the success on the field to keep it continuing, and we're going to all endeavour to make sure that happens. But it's just as important, if not more important, off the field, and getting people coming along, getting them out of the houses. You say some of us just need that escapism for those couple of hours to come and watch, whether you're cheering or booing, whether you agree with the way we play or you don't. It's all part of the fun and the process, and we enjoy that. I enjoy that. I love going to an away stadium and being heckled and hated on and called all sorts of names, and then coming into the office and getting the same. But no, like I say, it's a real community. It's your club, and it's not a cliche. It's your club, and we are here, and we're just looking after it for now. We'll do the best we can, and hopefully at some point, many years from now, it'll be in a stronger position than when we found it.
Which stadium did you enjoy being heckled at the most?
Stadium of Light.
In Benfica.
Yeah.
Ian, again, I mentioned you've been here the longest. I mean, you must take great satisfaction in seeing where the club is now, kind of back where it was when you first came to the club.
Yeah, satisfaction for the supporters mainly. Obviously, when I first came in, I think it was the season after Wembley. The club was in a really good position, and then saw it go from sort of being really strong, healthy, really community based, to then obviously whatever happened to the club, and then building it back up. And the main thing is when we thought we were going to lose the club, and you saw the guys outside the stadium and you spoke to them, there was a real panic and there was a real sense of sadness that they were going to lose the football club. And I think that's when it kind of hit home how much the football club means to these guys. So the fact that we've managed to give them a good season last season, and we've given them days like the Chorley away, the end of the season where you see smiles on faces and they're all buzzing. That's ultimately why we do it, and that's why we have got a football club. So yeah, for the supporters' point of view, it's really pleasing to see.
Ian, what's the best chant you've heard at the International Stadium or from supporters?
Do you know what? Last season we had loads of good ones, didn't we? I like Kedwin's, I liked Matty Jacobs, and I like Macaulay's, all the players that's left. So there's some new ones. I really like Kedwin's actually. I thought that was probably my favourite, and Matty's was a bit inventive, so them too.
Well, I did see on a video Jack put out you seem to enjoy Matty Jacobs. So you're dancing to that at the end of the season. Try to hide in the background. Dan and Ethan, how have you taken to nightlife in Newcastle?
No comment.
No comment.
So that's very well then.
The Bellows is really good.
So yes, very well.
Can't be too often to still sleep.
Rob, might as well ask you as well. Enjoying being back in the North East? Not that you ever left.
No, I didn't leave. Just dropping down the A1 for 2 years, but yeah, I love it. Obviously, there's no secret. I get bored of it. I think people just get bored of hearing me saying how much I love it. Genuine. Now I'm settled here. Kids are Geordies. It's my home. I can never expected I'd live in a place like this, and never could imagine not living here now. So it's just gone really well, and obviously with the opportunity of this coming up, it just made total sense. And I think I said that to the boys the other day. You know, being here sort of made the decision for me to come away from playing football, because it's genuinely somewhere that I really wanted to be. So yeah, love it. I don't get the nightlife so much now with the three lads, but Mike's obviously out every weekend trying to get us out. I just have to say to him that I can't do it. Just can't do it at the moment.
I'm not really sure how much we can say about this one, because it's obviously club business, but someone's asked what fees we actually got for Macca and Kedwin. I think it's probably easier to say that it was released, there were release clauses in the contract that the club were forced to accept. But I think, maybe unlike in the past, what you can say is the money that came in has went out to bring in to strengthen the squad, and that maybe always hasn't happened in the past.
Yeah, don't know what the release clauses were. I just know the release clauses were met, and that we got funds in for them, and the funds were put into the budget to bring in new players, which is brilliant from the board to do that. The board have been different class, to be fair, ever since we came in. And yeah, they released them funds for us to strengthen and try and replace the two boys, so fair play to them, yeah.
That's a lovely new Aston Martin you've got, by the way. Next question, I'll go to the lads for this one. Do you ever get nervous before games?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Most games, to be honest, because if you're not nervous, then you're not looking forward to it, I think. But yeah, I do get nervous before games, but as soon as I step out on that pitch, the nerves goes and I'm focused in the game. But before games, I do get a bit nervous at times.
So Dan, based on what he's just said, why do you not look forward to games?
Sheer amount of running that we're about to do is probably it. But no, you know, you look forward to the games, but there's always that element of pressure. And you do get nervous, but like he said, as soon as you step out on that pitch, it just becomes a blur, and it's all 100 miles an hour to start off with.
I'm going to come to you three guys here. Who's better in training, Ian or Mike?
I'm looking forward to seeing Ian training, because the way he talks, it's going to be revolutionary. I've got to be honest with you. He's ahead of his time by what I heard. Yeah, that's what he said. He said he's not stepping on the pitch till we get back to the Football League, so I'm looking forward to that next season. But yeah, no, it's good. What I love about it is when you see Mike train, he still trains with that intensity and that desire to play and set the standard for the lads. So it's good. It's a good example that no one's above it, no one's below it. And then Ian just stands there telling everyone how good he was. So no, I think we've got a very good. We'd have a decent five-a-side team, wouldn't we, as a coaching staff? Belly especially. Chris Dole, underrated as a footballer. I think he's someone that could make an appearance this season. To be honest, I think he's putting pressure on.
Can I answer this?
I knew you were going to have a go at me here.
Hey, I've not even answered yet. Now that you said that, though, there are a couple of things. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, last week we did a bit of training and Bus joined in. You were floating, weren't you? So he was on both teams, and I've not trained much. So I thought, you know, I'll test him out a little bit. I'll fire the ball in him a couple of times, see if it sticks or see if I get it back. I didn't get it back once. So he was on one touch and I kept giving him the ball, thinking he'll get one of these eventually. I must have given it you, 4 or 5 times tonight in the space of about a minute. I didn't get it back once. But no, I've trained with the gaffer as well. You know, I think the first day or the second day I came in, I marked you. And I didn't dare put a tackle in on you or anything. I just kind of stayed out your way. Just thought, this is my first day, I can't smash the gaffer first day. But I'm not going to vote, so I'll leave it to you.
I can't have a say because if I do, then probably won't play on Saturday. But I have seen Ian not train, but you know he does zing a few passes across the park, thinking he's Gerrard. But you know he needs a bit of work on that. But we'll let him off. But with the gaffer, as Rob iterated, that he trains with intensity every day when he trains. But, you know, yeah, he trains that same intensity all the time, so he just shows the lads the standard that we need to get to every day.
Job saying you were floating. Best players float, don't they? That's what happens. Next question. Who's the best at two-touch in the squad?
I'd give Jarv, from what I've seen, I'd put Jarv up there actually. Yeah, I'm going to go Jarv. I think Jarv might be the best one. Gaffer doesn't know.
Gents, as teammates, who would you say?
You say myself?
You just have.
Belly's good. But yeah, no, Belly's probably, he's not even a player, is he? But he has himself. I haven't seen him lose yet, apart from me. But two-touch ain't your game, is it?
No, don't talk about that.
We've had a couple of games, haven't we?
I don't play two-touch in them games.
I reckon Foster's got better. I reckon Greg's probably very good at two-touch. I'm yet to play Greg, so he could be the one that beats me, I think.
Yeah, anyone but Jarvis, to be honest. He has himself, but does a lot of cheating, so, you know, but he thinks he's the one, but we'll see.
I think there's a Durham Challenge Cup game with your name and your and Belly's name written all over it. Yeah. Won it before? No. Here's a chance. Mike, will the travel, or has the travel, had any effect on the players this season? Obviously it's increased some long journeys. Obviously it's definitely had more difficulties for supporters as well.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of travelling. So we get to chew the fat and on the bus and talk about the world and put it to rights. But apart from that, I don't think it's got any effect on the lads because I don't let it. The fact is, you've got to find a way, and everything we come across, whether again like a 4G pitch or the weather or the opponent, we've all got to find a way. And that's been our ethos going back again, taking it back to when you guys almost lost the football club. We turned up, no players, no staff, no balls, bibs and cones, and we had some interesting days, but you always find a way, and that's why we can't really put a label on what these guys do, because they do a bit of everything, all muck in. And if we did have any prima donnas that were whinging, they'd soon get alienated, because that's not our ethos, and we all pitch in and find a way to make it work for us.
So obviously, what you achieved, Mike, was pretty remarkable, and what the whole club achieved. And we know that certain players got sniffed around from Notts County. Was anyone sniffing around you for a manager? And do you have any ambition to, look into the future, maybe get a Premier League job one day?
You never know. Like I say, I can't answer. I don't hide it. My priority is my family. 5 children, so gone are the days what Rob was talking about when football's your whole life, and a phone call comes in and you're on the motorway, and the next day you're in a different area code and you've got to find your way round, and that's just your main objective. That's your focus. As you get older and you've got a family, they become your primary focus. So right now, like I say, when Busty come in, he's been at this football club a lot longer than me, done many different roles, and his kind of vision was getting this football club into the Football League, because it'd be such a unbelievable achievement. And when he said the achievement from last season was watching you guys celebrate in those occasions, he wasn't lying, because I think he enjoyed it for about half an hour before he started panicking about the next season. So, and that's no word of a lie. The week after we were promoted, he couldn't stop thinking about recruitment, about players that we might lose, players that we need to bring in, and his mind was going constantly. So, like I say, to comment on that, maybe one day. Right now, I'm happy. There were clubs sniffing around. Obviously, it was in the media, but like I say, for me, I didn't really have any interest. We started a project here, and we want to finish it.
Bloody media. You mentioned Ian there. I mean, probably not an easy question to ask him that he's here, but he is a huge part of what goes on in the football club.
Yeah, ask him, he'll tell you. No, like you say, our recruitment policy is person led, and then we look into the player profile, the physical profile. But yeah, he sums everything up. He cares so much. It can drive him to insanity, and like I say, he works so hard, and we're all here fighting for the same thing. And we're, it's a very colourful staff on many different fronts. Rob just adds another dimension to that. So, but ultimately, we're all here for the same reason. We want to enjoy the journey. We want to improve the people and the relationships we have, and we want success on the field.
I just want to say that in terms of the players, I think they're amazing in terms of what they do, or like selfies and signing things, and just giving like the kids a really brilliant experience on match days. Is that really important to the club, that you sort of like instill that in the players? That's part of the experience, I suppose, of being a Gateshead player.
It comes back down to the recruitment and looking at what the person's like before we bring them into the club. And then when they come into the club, the boys generally love the supporters. They love all the the meeting the kids and stuff after, and meeting the supporters and getting a chat with them. They love you guys as much as you love them. So it's really important for us as staff that we see the players engaging. But to be fair, it's not something that we've had to push or we've had to ever see you need to do this. It just happens naturally because we've generally got a bunch of really good people at the football club. The players, they're such a good group and such humble lads. We don't really have any sort of problems with them at all. They're just such a really good group of lads. So yeah, it's all by them, to be fair.
Interestingly on that, the non-league paper had a piece on the connection between players and supporters at non-league level, and the photo they used, the main photo, was of Gateshead. I think it was Macca and Greg last season after one of the cup games, so that was good.
How long before Jobs is back?
I'll let the staff answer that one.
Thrown out a lot of hospital passes tonight.
To be fair to Job, he's just been unfortunate. He obviously picked that injury up on a play in Newcastle. He's worked really, really hard to get back to the position that he's in. He's grafted every day with belly. He's had a minor setback this week, so we're just waiting to see how it settles down, and then we'll get Belly to diagnose it from there. But at the minute we're a little bit unsure with that setback that he's had, so we'll have to wait and see. But we're excited for him coming back because he's a very good player.
Last one? No? Right, I'll ask the last one then. I'll ask all of you here if you had a message for the supporters ahead of Saturday, or in general, looking at the rest of the season, what would it be?
Just basically what's already been said. We're going to continue doing everything we can on this side for you guys to just keep doing everything you can. Obviously, you turn up and we can hear you every single week, which is phenomenal. But if there's any more you can do, like say with the press or word of mouth, with your friends and family, more bums on seats the better. And we're all working relentlessly hard. So. In terms of the actual process, it's there is no. You come, you enjoy it, you get behind the boys, the lads that are here. Just even like the last question there, Jarvis had a setback, but he's had a setback because he was overdoing it, trying to get back, and that's the kind of blueprint, the ethos. Unfortunately, sometimes it goes against you because you're so eager, you want to stay after training, do some more running, more shooting. and that's in his nature. So when he is back, you'll see he's a hell of a player and he'll bring a lot to the club. But yeah, in terms of that, it's just we're all working, we're all fighting in the same direction, and we just want to continue that.
Yeah, just reiterate that. Just keep loving the boys because they love you. If we have a setback or have a few setbacks or we're not doing great, it's not because we don't want to. It's not because the boys aren't working hard, because as I see they put it in every day. So on social media and stuff like that, just keep showing the boys love, because as I see they just judge them on the people and how hard they're working, not so much the results. If they go bad at any time, and they'll repay you, and you know they will, because you guys know the group as well. So just keep loving them as much as they love you, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, just obviously exactly what the gaffer and Buster said, but for me, just enjoy it. Enjoy the process, enjoy all the hard work that you put in to save the club, and enjoy this season as a reward. There's going to be ups and downs like every bit, but enjoy being in this moment and watching a great bunch of lads who are dying for the cause, people behind it who actually genuinely want to help and help the club, and the fantastic guys like Dave and Mark, who all the other volunteers and people who work, whoever it may be, just know that everyone's doing it for the right reasons, and it's a fantastic thing to be a part of. I've lost my football club, Cholton, 2 or 3 times to people I didn't want at the club, but one thing I can assure you is everyone here is going to be doing the right thing, and we just want to enjoy it together. The hard work will be there. It's going to be ups and downs, but stick with it, stick with everyone, because you know that you're putting your faith in the right place, and the club's back on the map, and hopefully this will be the baseline going forward.
I think like Rob just touched on there, just enjoy the highs and enjoy the lows, but as players it's just good to see how invested you all are, and it's exciting for us, and we just want to go out and just perform week in, week out for you pretty much, and just bring the results home every week.
Yeah, you've been brilliant from the start of the season, but at the time we're going to win some, we're going to lose some, but just keep turning up in your numbers, and your support is very much appreciated by us all.
Right, everyone, that wraps everything up. I'll get Tracy to come forward to do the raffle. Many thanks for your time. Thanks to the gentlemen.